Have you ever yearned for news? I don't really know where I'm going with this. Except for the fact that Worlds are nearing its full swing.
Yep.
And as a result, people got talking. And they got talking about the good things and the bad things.
Yep.
Yet don't you think we don't have funny oopsies to talk about? But instead of me
Funny
bringing all
oopsies.
the individual topics up, why don't we bunch it all together into a one big bundle? Because this year, Worlds are all about bundles. Anyway, by far the biggest thing that happened this week was the reveal of this year's Worlds Anthem. It is a yearly event that sticks most people to the front of their seats. So, how did this year's reveal go? Well, to summarize the opinion of the internet, which we can all agree is definitely objective, we got good old Yeah, this year's Anthem got people divided into two camps, neither of which really hate anything about it. But the excitement definitely varies. You see, if you go through all the comments, you'll see that most people agree that the song is okay. Funnily enough, some people credit Rise or Warriors for being so good that nothing else can match their hype. So every other song just feels inferior by default. And you know what? I kinda agree with what's happening here. Simply put,
100%.
World's anthems are about hype. It is all about getting your blood pumped as everyone chants one-liners. That is a big reason why Legends Never Die, Rise, or even Worlds Collide are so beloved. The chanting pulls a lot there. And that is why, at the time of their release, songs like Ignite or Star Walking were criticized. Now, looking back, people can agree that those were good songs, but they didn't necessarily spark up hype. So, how did gods follow up on that? Well, let me tell you, they do have some chanting. And the song has a great chorus. But overall, the general view is that this is a good song. But depending on whether you are a fan of New Jeans or not, you're either gonna think that this is an absolute banger, or you're gonna be just okay with it. And I believe this is happening for one simple reason. You see, I myself am in the camp. Because this song is not exactly my style.
I love it.
I don't think it's bad, I think it's pretty good. But I'm one leg in the boomer camp, things are not amazing for me. I mean, I don't know who New Jeans are, I have never heard their music.
Same.
But apparently, the people who know them mentioned that their original music style is a lot different from this song. So they actually went through a lot of work to make it fit the Anthem style. But also, New Jeans is a group of 5 singers. And while normally their songs are split somewhat evenly among all of them, the God song is focused on mostly 2 of them. Which is something some of the more dedicated New Jeans fans didn't like that much.
Okay,
but
that
if you
makes sense, that
appreciate
makes
how the
sense.
band went out of their comfort zone to make something new, so they could put together a song that can cheer up a crowd, you're gonna like this. Now, as I mentioned before, the appreciation of this song is split into 2 camps. But one of those camps is also split in 2. There are those who like this anthem because of the song itself, and others who follow the esports scene closely, and they love this anthem because of the storytelling that happened in the video. Funnily enough, I am not a massive fan of K-pop, and I have no idea what's happening around esports. Like, I don't think I could name any of these people. Is that Faker? Yeah, I don't think I'm the targeted audience. Thankfully, I am pretty good at research. So I actually dug into this and I learned what the video is really about. And now I have to admit, it is pretty clever. Just like some of the other anthems, this one is all about recapping the previous worlds. It begins with Deft attending a school where he sees Faker. This is a reference to their real story where Deft and Faker went to the same high school. But it's also the moment Deft got inspired by Faker to get better at League. This would be around Worlds 2013, which you can see in the next scene where he gets inspired by Faker's play. Then, around Worlds 2014, you can see how he focused on grinding with Lucian. This is the scene where Samsung Blue got knocked out by Samsung White, where Pawn played his famous Jace. After this, we move towards Worlds 2015, where he joined EDG. which I didn't know was the first Korean exodus into LPL.
Yep.
That year, even though they won MSI, they got knocked out of Worlds by Fnatic, where Reckless played his AD Kennen.
Fnatic.
However, apparently Deft and Reckless never matched against each other in any of those matches. So this scene is kinda made up.
And to those of you that doesn't know, like Reckless AD Cannon he's speaking of is Sivir. Like Reckless is just an absolute god with that champ.
Not that everything should be one-to-one canon here. Anyway, just like a proper shonen, this story then has a time skip. And we fast forward to 2020, where Deft played Senna as a carry for DRX, alongside Doran, who played Jax here. Their opponents are Showmaker as Syndra and Canyon as Graves, and they all replicate a scene from Worlds where Keria sacrificed himself as Braum for the better of his team, which is also where Damwon knocked them out. After this, the song references the time the Korean audience questioned Deft's abilities. To quote them, they were wondering if he was washed. But that all changed in 2022, where he got picked up by DRX, and even in the video you can see that he literally got picked up. And that's when last year's totally scripted Worlds happened. Deft ended up playing against Mako, his former teammate. You can also see how during these games he adapted to the situations by picking up Draven and later Varus. The video then also references how in the following match, Deft faced against his former teammate Doran. This is also where the internet memes of Giant Doran came from. And finally, in the last part, you can see Deft facing Keria, who previously played Braum to save him, which was followed by the appearance of Faker as Victor. And of course, it all ends after the entire DRX team arrives using Bard's portal, where all of them represents their final picks of the final match, which resulted in them becoming the world's champions. But that's not it, because after that, we get a very creepy cliffhanger that is teasing Worlds 2023.
Oh.
So, looking back after doing my research, I have to say this music video is very cool. And there is a reason why, if you go into the comment section, you will see everyone talking about how good the story is. And
But
not
the
very
song
many
is
people
not-
talking
yes.
about the song itself. Because let's be honest, it was all scripted anyway, you can't prove me otherwise. So, that was the World's Anthem that set up the entire World's event. So now, let's dig into all the things that are coming for the mortals, such as ourselves. In one of our previous videos, we talked about the new World's Collector's Edition, which is a brand new piece for all the collectors. But now, the official merch store also got some other items, with this year's clothing focusing on the black, white and blue colors. And with those, they also released a new figure of Championship Baron. And together with
that
that,
is actually so nice,
somewhat
though.
randomly, we also got 2 new pieces of Spirit Blossom merch. We got the Spirit Blossom Ahri plush and Ahri's Traveler's Hood. Of course, this is a reference to her appearance in Legends of Runeterra. It honestly looks quite cozy, but I still have to say this does feel like a totally random drop. Also, is this something you wear out in public? Is this gonna be another Yasuo's hoodie incident? Regardless, the reason why I'm bringing up the merch store is that on top of the world's merch, something new arrived. A new pair of official wristwatches by Casio. Now, the first one of these is a Jinx version that looks very interesting. It honestly represents her really well. But you also have the Hextech version.
Yo, the Hextech
And
looks
I'll be
so
honest,
nice, though.
I really like these. As a lore nerd who lives in this universe, this is an amazing item to have. But therein lies the issue. Since these are proper, professionally made watches with delicate mechanisms,
It's expensive.
of course they would be a little bit pricier. I mean, these are not necessarily cheap plastic toys. These are functional items that you are going to use. Which is why it makes sense for the Jinx version to
Yo, $200, my bro. For us being in South Africa.
No, I'm okay, yeah.
be $200. Though it's true that it is not a smartwatch, which would have a little bit more functionality. But it is still a proper watch. Now, the thing that raised quite a few eyebrows is, though, that the Hextech version goes for $1,100.
Bro, that's literally 2 months of salary, just there. Gone.
I'll be honest, even though I
Done.
really like those, that is not a price I would really like to give for a watch. To be fair, if you look at the other products from the same brand, they are all around similar price tags. But some people still had a bit of a laugh at the fact that there is such a massive price gap between them. Now, on the topic of items and their values, Worlds also arrived with its own sort of in-game items. And even there, Riot made a tiny oopsie as well as a little bit of a bigger one. You see, Riot gave us a post where they talked about all the digital goods that are coming. Here they talked about the Coven skins, which arrived with its own really funny drama, but also some premium Worlds bundles. As always, every event has to have its own battle pass. Why does it have to have that? I don't know, I don't make the rules. Anyway, while the normal pass gives you everything you would normally expect for 1650 RP, of course there is also a bundle for 2650 RP, which gives you some extra items. So on top of the normal tokens and the orbs, here you also get the Coven Akali, and that's it. So essentially you're just buying the Akali skin together with the pass. That's the bundle. So in case you think that this one is pointless, Riot also has the Premium Pass bundle. This one is for 3650 RP, which also gives you some exclusive items, which obviously made some people mad. Because for those extra 1000 RP, you are also getting an exclusive chroma skin for that Akali, which you can't get any other way, and a new Renekton emote, which is also not available in any other way.
Wow.
So not only did this bundle anger one group of players, it angered two. It angered Akali mains because, yet again, if you want to get that specific chroma skin, you have to pay a lot. I mean, it is essentially locked behind $40. And it angered Renekton mains because there is another Renekton emote that is also behind a paywall. Yes, in fact, this is not the first time Renekton emotes got exclusive. Anyway, to make you feel like things are a little bit better, Riot confirmed that a portion of these bundles will go towards the teams, with all the profits from the icons and the emotes going exclusively towards the teams. Now, after this, we get a full list of everything we get from the pass, and everything that's highlighted will be available for free. Here, Riot did make a minor oopsie, because they forgot to highlight some of the things that were supposed to be available for free. Mainly, we are talking about a free orb at level 22. I don't know how much of a big deal this is. And at the end, Riot did make the calculations for you. In case you are aiming for the Prestige Coven Akali skin, which is available for 2000 tokens, apparently you should have those saved up by milestone 27. So anything you do after that will be going towards the other rewards. They then give us a list of all the missions that progress the milestones. They show us all the Coven skins, and right below that one, another maddening thing popped up. You may notice that the Coven Ward doesn't have a price tag, and that's because you can only get it through the bundles. You can't buy it separately, which I know, again, it's nothing new, just like with the chroma skins. But oh well, if you want this ward, you have to buy a Coven skin and all of their chromas together. Even though everyone is just gonna pick their favorite chroma and they will never swap it. Also, I just realized something. It says it's a 2023 Coven ward, but they are showing the ward from 2021. The 2023 version is totally different. Anyway, a new feature that comes in with the new Worlds icons is that it will also give you the team's tag before your name. So now you can properly feel like you are a Bollywood faker. And finally, after going through all the token shops, at the end they also talk about Jax. On top of Jax getting his
visual
ASU,
update.
Riot is also giving him a new Neo Pax Jax skin, which is an updated version of the Pax skin similar to what Sivir got. The thing is, the Neo Pax Sivir was available for 100 Mythic Essence. So once again, some eyebrows were raised when we learned that the Neo Pax Jax will be up for 200 Mythic Essence. That's double of what it was originally. And no, the fact that you get it for free if you have the original Pax Jax skin doesn't change anything, because that was the case for the original Sivir as well. Not to mention that the entire Pax skin line was muddied by scammers. There is a whole separate video about that one. Regardless, at the end of the tunnel we also got the announcement for Nexus Blitz. It will arrive on October 24th. So for all of you who are screaming about the fact that Arena is not as good as Nexus Blitz, now is your time to prove it. But while that is it for the article, there is still one more thing to mention. Pick'ems also got a funny oopsie. You see, among all the predictions, you get asked how many pentakills you think will happen at Worlds. But originally, you were not able to say 0. So would there be no pentakills, nobody would be able to get perfect pick'ems. Thankfully, that was fixed now, so you can now go back and pick 0 if you have depression. But you know what, since we're here, we might as well just fill the rest. When it comes to the champion questions, it would help to know the meta at least. When it comes to the player predictions, look, I'm just supporting my own country. And when it comes to the teams, look, I like World of Warcraft, ninjas, and orange color. I also don't know what I'm doing here. Is there a prize for perfect pick'ems with 0 points? I think I'm a really good contender here.
Oh, this was so good.